It's the Afrobeats takeover and we are back from the break. And without further ado, it's only right I bring on our next esteemed special guest, one of Nigeria's finest. I don't care what anyone tells me. And if you've been listening to Africa's finest, my bad.
Rephrase.
Let me rephrase that quick. If you've been listening to the show, you would have heard his music, no doubt. So without further ado, let me just stop talking and bring him on. Please make noise for the. Make noise for L.a.x. this evening, please.
Drum roll. Come on.
You know,
Zaki. Trust me. Look, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio with us.
Yes, boss.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been trying to interview for a very, very, very long time. Every time you come into town, Shopsy, bring L.a.x. Like, he's coming. Don't worry. So it's really nice to have you in the studio with us. First and foremost, what I want to address here is that why haven't we seen an L.a.x. headline show in the UK?
Yeah, we're coming.
Okay.
Because the thing about it is that when I'm doing stuff, so I like to do it proper.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to do anything that is less than. And everybody that is coming to the UK now, they're coming and they're shutting it down.
That's what I'm saying.
So you know what the plan is next year we're coming bigger, we're coming stronger.
Yeah.
Trying to seal the dates already, and next year we'll just do it bang.
That's what I'm saying, because, and I mean no disrespect to other artists when I say this, I feel like there's some people that have done headline shows in the UK and haven't got the amount of bangers that you have, and I feel like to be able to deliver a headline show, you need to have a catalogue of bangers, and we've seen it, you know, over the last, I don't know what, seven, it feels like it's been like 7 years. You've been doing music, like in this scene anyway. You've just continued to release hit after hit after hit. How have you managed to remain consistent?
It's just stay in the studio, man. Stay in the studio, stay
Sleep,
with God as well, you know.
Relax,
that's what I do. Like, I'm always in the studio, eat, breathe music, man. That's what I do.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so you burst onto the scene, like, anyway, over here with Wizkid.
Yeah.
Karo, everyone was like, yo, who be that guy? And, you know, a lot of blogs picked up the fact that, you know, you were a more low rich guy with swag, like, with the music. Talk to us about that, with the whole, like, coming through your parents' finances and richness. How have you, like, been able to shake that off and make your own money? And, like, you know, a lot of people don't think about the fact that your parents are successful anymore. They focus more on you as an artist now. How have you managed to shake that off?
Yeah, from the scratch, to be honest. Like, I've been doing it. Shout out to my dad, shout out to my mom, shout out to my family. But they didn't even know I was doing music when I started. So it was just me going to school and using, like, my pocket money to shoot videos, try and go for studio sessions. But when my dad saw that I was serious, you know, he pushed me, did what he could do with me. And I've always been very independent with everything I want to do, like, in life, like, because I feel like if I'm making a decision, then I have to own it, like, to the
100%.
end. Yeah. So with the music, we're making money from music. I'm excited that now, you know, I can say, oh, I've made this from music, and my dad is excited. Everybody's happy about it. Now I have my business, I have my record label. And I'm just doing what I can do.
That's good luck. And talk to us about the relationship, like, with you and Wizkid, because obviously there was that Starboy situation. I feel like you grew so big that it'll be difficult to, like, when people think about L.a.x. no more, they don't think L.a.x. Wizkid, they just think L.a.x. in itself. I mean, talk to us about how that relationship came about. How did you meet Wizkid, and how did you, like, you know, create a huge hit like Carol in the first place?
I met Wiz in Nigeria. I was in London at that time, so I sent my songs to my stylist. Shout out to Tiana Toyin Lawani. I sent her my songs and she liked it, so she played it for Wiz. And Wiz was like, "Oh, who's this boy? I like his voice. Tell him to come through." So I went to Wiz's place, played him couple. At that time, I actually had a 10-song EP that I was about to release. So I played it for Wiz. Wiz was like, "Oh, I like this one. I think you can do better on this one. That I feel like we should go to the studio and work more." So it was even just a working relationship. We were in the studio, we were working, and next thing was going to London. So it was like, do you want to come to London? Let's go. And obviously I was coming back to London for school, so I was like, let's go. Came to London, did Caro 2 days after.
Wow.
Dropped it in like 4 days. Everywhere went nuts.
So you're saying, like,
crazy
in such a short space of time, from being with Wizkid to
it was too fast. It was like in 3 weeks everything happened, and from there it was just like, you know what, since we're moving now, we can just sign. We signed and we continue, and I'm excited I signed with Wiz because I learned a lot from him, from, you know, the business side to even making music. Like, Wiz is so talented, and he's so talented and hungry that he's still hungry till today.
He's still hungry.
Like, he's in the studio every single time. Even when he's back in Nigeria, if you call him out, Wiz, where he's in the studio. So that made me to, you know, think about it and be like, you know, I have to stay in the studio to get these 8 songs. You can't be out partying. You have to be in the studio.
You can't. Now, one of the things I want to commend you on is your stage presence and stage performances. Now, one of the things I always say, me and Mash talk about this all the time. There's a lot of artists that you know, amazing songs, but when it comes to stage presence, you haven't got it. I've seen you on stage. I saw you in Nigeria a couple of years ago. I've seen you do your thing on stage. Like, how do you, I mean, what kind of, did you have any rituals first and foremost before you go on stage? Or how do you like get that type of stage presence and that kind of aura? Like, is that something that you feel like you have naturally? Have you had to learn it? How have you worked on that?
Okay, I feel like it's natural. Because when I was young, when I was very, very young, because I'm still young. But when I was young, and I used to go for parties, I've never lost a dance competition.
Oh shit!
Like all my life since I was going to parties.
Me and you would be opposites. They lose all of that. I don't even know why I compete. But I always lose it. But carry on, sorry, man.
So from that time, I've always had no fear of, you know, facing the crowd, because when you're dancing, obviously people are there, they're cheering you up, so you have to face the crowd. So I feel like I got that from that. But rituals when I'm going on stage, I'm always nervous.
Wow.
I'm extremely.
I don't believe that.
I'm extremely nervous because I don't drink or smoke, so there's no high. Yeah. So I'm facing the crowd with my 100%. My eyes are shining.
Wow.
So what I do is I try to, you know, dance or play like my favorite song at that moment and just shake it off. Yeah. Before I go on stage.
I've seen you literally shut down. I was in Nigeria about 2 or 3 years ago, and I saw you at the Hard Rock Cafe. There was a little small show that you done, and even with the numbers that were there, like I was thinking, L.a.x came. How's he gonna do it? Because the numbers weren't really. But the moment you got on stage, like that moment you got on stage, it almost felt like performance mode, and everyone started vibes in, you know, like, so I in all fairness, I feel like you're definitely a natural. Selector Maestro, what you got for us, man? Before we go any further, we know that you've just dropped an amazing body of work. We're really excited for it. I've spent the last week listening to it back to back to back. So before we go any further, let's get back into the mix. Maestro, what you got for them, B? I want to hear that.
Even when I started recording, shout out to Sam Clef. Sam Clef explained something to me. He said, when you're recording, try and most times personalize your song.
Yeah,
because I'm saying give you love, so it's something. If you're singing the same thing. Yeah, do you understand?
So it's almost like let the listener relate to it.
Relate to it. So that's why I put in most of my songs.
I'm feeling that. So we want to get to the big one, Rasakin, the album. Amazing body of work. And like I said, the last week I've been listening to it over and over. Shout out to Malik Berry. Malik Berry was on there. Mo Logo and Sneak Bowl. Like you really tapped into the UK audience. In terms of some of the people that you worked with, I mean, what was that process like as well? I know you got a relationship with Mo Logo and Malik. The other relationships, I mean, how did that work? You brought Duncan Mighty on it as well. Shout out to Duncan Mighty. I feel like Duncan Mighty has re-emerged out of nowhere, man. So tell us how the whole album and all the pieces got put together.
For the Malik one, I came to London at that time, so it was funny because where I was staying, I didn't know Malik was next door.
Oh wow.
So one time we're in the lift and I was like, Malik, we're going to the studio now. Wow. So I went to the studio with him, did melodies, left the song, went back to Nigeria. So he sent me when he was done recording. Then for Duncan Mighty, I think I met him at the airport in Nigeria.
So all these were just like by chance. Like
I had a show in Port Harcourt. So I was coming back. I saw him. Was L.a.x, what's up? I'm a big fan. I said, boss, I'm a big fan too. Let's go to the studio. So the next day we recorded that song. I recorded him because we recorded that song by 2 a.m. He called me by like 7 p.m. Was like, bro, I'll tell you when I'm ready. So that you can come, because I'm traveling the next day. So we have to do it today. So I was already even sleeping. Called me by like 1 a.m. and was like, bro, are you ready to go to the studio now? Woke up
at 1 a.m.
At 1 a.m. Wow. Went to my studio, recorded that. Yemi Alade's on, amazing.
Shout out to Yemi Alade,
No, that's like that was the best session. Wow. She's too amazing. She's too cool. Got to the studio, we did 2 songs or 3 songs. I can't remember. I think we did 3 songs because she wanted us to do more songs so that I can pick from which one that I wanted. David On too was mad.
Yeah, big up David On, man.
David, we actually had a song before that was supposed to make the album, so I sent him that one and he was like, you know what, I feel like we should do another one. So I went to the studio, we did that. So everybody I worked with, there was some sort of chemistry cool. The only painful one was Pato Ranking. I got his verse 2 days after I submitted to iTunes.
Oh no!
Wow.
Painful.
it was painful.
Wow.
But the good thing about it is I can still drop it.
Yeah, exactly. You have it in the locker.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where. I know you've been on a mini radio tour. I'm hoping that's the first time anyone's heard that.
Actually, that's the first time.
You heard it first. You heard it here first. So, I mean, and another thing about the album, I felt like it just made me like, one of the things I do, I can't drive without music. You know, one of the things I kept listening over and over again to the way, like, your melody, I felt like everything was a lot tighter, like the lyrics, everything was just, even the intro, you know, like it really pulled on the heartstrings. So big up yourself on that album. Tonight you're going to be performing at Wale's Bar.
Yeah, Wale's Bar.
Have you been to Wale's Bar before?
Yeah, I've been, but a long time ago, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh wow. How do you anticipate the reception? Is this your first time performing since you've been here recently?
Yeah. Okay. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I feel like it's been long I've performed in London, and now we have more bangers, so I can't even wait.
That's what I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, L.a.x. on Afrobeat Takeover with Selector Maestro and D-Boy. And remember, you heard it here again. Next year, headline show. We're going to start off at the Indigo. Or is one of the O2s we have to start off at?
O2, man. Nothing less.
Nothing less. Yeah. And I'm sure, I guarantee you, one day we'll be moving to that O2 arena. Yeah. It has to happen. Do you know what I mean? So thank you for joining us. Tell the listeners if you've got any other things that you want to tell them, like any other just secret tracks that you got that potentially might be coming out, collaborations. Yeah,
I just want to say a big shout out to everybody that has been supporting me from day one. Yeah. And this next year, I'm going to be shooting videos, a lot of videos.
Come on.
So if you have a song on the album, don't be afraid. I'm shooting a video for it. And I can't wait, to put out the visuals. I can't even wait to drop new music. I'm already working on my second album. I'm 10 songs deep already.
10 songs deep?
Yeah.
How do you manage, actually, before you go, how do you manage to keep, when you record these songs, how do you manage to keep them on tap and not don't you feel like you just want to let me just release it?
Do you know, I always feel that way. Yeah. But the thing about it is, like, I have to pass through a management. I have a management. So even when I want to drop, they'll be like, no, you're not dropping.
Relax.
But yeah, I record every day. I live with like 5 producers.
Oh wow.
So imagine
you're sport for choice.
Once I wake up, because my nickname in my house is Zaza. So once I wake up, Zaza, we have beat for you. So I'm always, recording, and they're always excited because they've worked with other artists and they feel like working with L.a.x. Like my producers, I've given them like singles. Like, okay, you 3 singles, you 3 singles. They're happy, so they're working. Everybody is excited.
That's a good look. Another thing I want to ask you is there's a lot of young up and coming guys who are doing music in the industry at the moment. They're finding it difficult to make a break. What would be your advice if you're telling a young person who's they've been knocking on the doors trying to get in? What would be your advice to them? Yeah,
I feel like in Nigeria now it's more difficult, and it's not because of anything, but because there are a lot of artists. There's a lot. Like and these are the artists that are coming. I'm not even joking.
I'm telling you,
they are giving different sounds,
coming for headshots, man.
Trust me, man. Amazing music, but I just feel like just be persistent. Yeah, just keep at it. Prayerful, man. You need to be prayerful. It's very important. Be close to God, pray, and just keep at it. You get it. It's just thing about it is, even my dad used to tell me, it's just one song.
Yeah. Oh wow.
You just need one. Good. Once you get that one song, then your career has started. So just keep pushing for that one song, and when it comes, what you do after is in your hands.
That's what I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Razakin L.a.x. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Selector